Hey guys, Jack on Wrist here, back with another video, and in today's video I want to discuss a new collection and series of watches coming out from one of the most influential and hottest brands in all of horology, and kind of what the implications are on the greater watch industry. So let's just jump right into it. Today we're talking about Patek Philippe and their new Cubitus collection. This is their first new collection in over 25 years, and I certainly have some opinions I'd like to share about it. So firstly, I kind of want to put something aside. I know that Patek Philippe is innovating with these watches in terms of the actual movements of the watches. I know that they constantly are looking to really innovate within the watch world, and that's kind of what they do. They are in the sector of hot horology. They are supposed to kind of do that, and especially for the cost that you're paying, you'd kind of expect these really cool movements. So the reason why I wanted to acknowledge that and put it to the side at the same time is because Patek Philippe, in my opinion, has huge ramifications for the rest of the watch industry. I think what they do tends to be a standard or benchmark to which other brands copy and take inspiration from, and I think that the styling of these pieces is kind of more important. I think other brands, especially at a cheaper price point, will never be able to mimic the amount of quality that comes out of the movements of Patek Philippe watches. But again, when you talk about styling, I think that has a great level of impact on everyone else. So to me, it's fairly obvious that this new series of watches, the Cubitus collection, is extremely similar to the Patek Philippe Nautilus series of watches. I mean, you can tell with the integrated bracelet style design to it. It is very similar. The major difference, of course, being the sort of square dial. And bridging off of the design aspects to this watch, I have basically two major points to make. Number one, I'm very surprised. I think Patek Philippe in many ways is, as I mentioned earlier, the standard within the watch world. Them and Audemars Piguet and Vacheron are kind of the holy trinity that I think a lot of people and other brands tend to follow closely. And I think in many ways they started the integrated bracelet style sort of phase that has gone on over the past 4 or 5 years. Obviously with the Patek Philippe Nautilus in the first place, a lot of people really wanted to get their hands on something very similar to it, and that's where, in my opinion, you saw brands like Tissot and Movado and Citizen try to do their own versions of that same style and make it more attainable and affordable for the average consumer. So firstly, it's a little surprising to me that Patek Philippe has decided to double down on the integrated bracelet style design. Obviously, the Patek Philippe Nautilus and similar styled watches have been around for a long time, way before the modern consumer has decided to be enamored by it. But it is just kind of surprising to me because, I don't know, like I said, it feels like this trend has kind of come and went. People have now large access to this style of design. It feels like we're kind of moving on into something new, and yet here they are kind of doubling down. But maybe Patek Philippe in their mind is just so above everyone else, they don't really care that the average consumer can get their hands on a similar styled watch. They don't even care, and of course they're sticking with their similar design language to their other watches, and maybe that's their mindset. But it was just a bit surprising to me that they're actually doing this, and I thought they really could have benefited from a little bit of a refresh. I know that they mentioned this was the first collection from Patek Philippe in 25 years in various articles, and you can read about that, and that's true, but it doesn't really feel very new in my opinion. So there we go. That was observation number one. I think Patek Philippe sort of missed the mark here, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the integrated sports style watch is here to stay for a few more years at least, and maybe this is Patek Philippe's way of saying that's what they think. So my second takeaway or observation from this new Patek Philippe collection's design is the fact that maybe the square dial is making a large comeback here. Obviously Patek Philippe, as I mentioned earlier, along with AP and Vacheron, are huge influences within the watch space, so I do think what they do is really, really important for everyone else. And we're seeing some other brands like Bulova with their Super Seville and Timex with some of their reissues making sort of TV dial or square style cases here. And I think it really is potentially making a comeback. We'll see if other brands really follow this trend and want to continue it on. But it is really nice to see that this is making a comeback. It seems like, and based on my research, TV style dials were huge in the 70s-ish. And really the only times I've seen this style of case and dial come up recently was in a lot of different micro brands kind of trying to take a chance to do something different with their design. So to see it come more mainstream is really exciting. I'm a big fan of a particular style of watches coming up into the forefront of the minds of all of the consumers and making it very popular and basically giving us a lot of options for that particular style. I mean, basically we mentioned earlier with the integrated style bracelet watch, that was something that people wanted but was only really available in the higher marketplace, and now it's available across many different price points. And so I hope that this continues to happen where there's a particular trend within the industry and it kind of shifts shifts and becomes available for everyone. Maybe that's just kind of the way things work. I mean, maybe that's just the way markets work in general. But I really like this within the world of watches, and I really like the sort of TV dial kind of watch. So hopefully this is the next big thing. I also kind of want to circle back to the point I made earlier, which is the fact that Patek Philippe with these watches have done some really cool things with their movements. I'm not going to break them down into great detail right now, but you can read articles about it. They are obviously doing awesome stuff. They are Patek Philippe, so despite me thinking that the design of these watches are a bit unoriginal and a bit similar to the Patek Philippe Nautilus collection, I am here to say that Patek Philippe is still probably at the top of their A game when it comes to adapting and changing and really innovating. So hats off to them, and it is still really cool to see them making a new collection after 25 years. It's good to see some of these older players within the watch space try to do something new. So a quick question for you guys to answer in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of the integrated bracelet sports style watches that we've seen over the past few years? Are you sick of it? Do you want to see more of it within the watch industry? Let me know what you guys think. And also, what do you guys think of the new square or TV style dials and cases that we've seen from a few brands out there like this Patek Philippe collection and Bulova and Timex, etc.? Let me know what you think of that as well. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you can give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.